Hi everyone, welcome to this reading. I have my crystal ball off to the side, so I will be scrying throughout this message. If you're new to my channel, my readings are a little different. If you're returning, welcome back. You know how we do. If it doesn't resonate with you, if you're forcing the story to fit, arguing with it in any way, just leave it behind for the people who it's meant for. Channel members, you will have a Major Arcana series video posted later this week, probably towards the end of the week, so definitely check back for that. If you're interested in channel memberships, that link will be in the description box below. If you're interested in any of the classes that I provide, those links will be in the description box as well, and we're booking for April. Make sure that you have the time zone correct. Okay. Taking a step aside and allowing Spirit to pass through me. Opening up to receive information. Okay. Real fast I saw like a bright light, and I'm feeling this buzzing in my core. It's just like bzzz. So I feel like someone's coming online. Okay. Like a switch that just got flipped and someone's coming online. Ooh, okay. I heard right place, right time. And then I'm seeing these dominoes, almost like and I feel like that's happening really fast. So someone here, it feels like I'm speaking to a collective that knows that they've been waiting for an ability or a gift to awaken. That doesn't mean that they haven't already had abilities or gifts. I don't know if this collective has or hasn't. I'm sure, I imagine it's a mixed bag, right? Some of you have, some of you haven't, but it feels like there's something that you knew was about to come, right? I do feel that for some of you there's something tied into the witch wound and healing that has allowed something to flow free. Others of you, it seems like there's an energy block that was released, particularly around the throat chakra. Okay, I'm being given symbols now, and so if you're new to my channel, the symbols don't mean the message is or isn't yours. The symbols just mean pay extra attention if they resonate for you. So the first is a bike, and it's getting its training wheels off. The second is something about a circus. I'm not real clear. It's almost like a circus accoutrement. So like, what am I seeing here? Like a hoop, and then real fast I just saw like a dog with like a circus clown hat. So just things that belong to a circus. And then, oh, and I just saw like the animal, the circus animal, like cookie box. Very weird. Okay, we have the coast of Maine. And then I'm not sure what this word is. Oh, okay, not a word. A name? No, a place. So there's a place. And it's Dandenong, something like that. And it's a place. Okay. And then, oh, I like this one. Glazed donut. You eat that thing. Get it. The next one is an envelope with a sticker sealing it on the back. And then number 8 is a reoccurring theme. Like reoccurring, like reoccurring. Okay. All right. You had a choice at some point whether to stay comfortable or use your courage, and somebody had to step up and be very courageous here. I do feel that this is something that a person has known about since they were a child, or since they were significantly younger than what they are. I'll put it that way. And it feels like something that for some of you it has to do with nature in some way. Again, it doesn't have to be a spiritual ability. It doesn't have to be a psychic ability. For some of you, it may be writing, for example, picking up writing. I do feel a heavy influence here of healing, somebody who has a healing gift or a healing ability, and maybe they didn't realize that that's what they were doing. I'm also seeing psychism wrapped up in this, especially of those of you who have cleared up a witch wound. I'm seeing a lot of psychism. I'm also feeling the sense of a lot of telepathy. Now, when I say that this came back online, it's almost like we've unlocked something inside of ourselves, and it has to do with this series of events or series of evolutions that we've taken inside of this journey. Now, I do feel that for some of you there's been a lot of examination of your childhood here. We have Mika Muckle. I can't show all these, well, I can show all these cards, okay. And then we have Mike the Myomancer. Okay, there we go. Came in real clear. And Mike the Myomancer, he tends to pay attention to the nature around him. He pays attention to his surroundings. So there's something here for me with these two cards that we may have really had to sift through a lot of things from our childhood. But what we see here is we have the fairy godmother. There's a choice. Some of you may have had to release belief patterns from your upbringing in order to choose to step into this courageously. It's not that you knew exactly what the gift was, or even that you had to necessarily be like, okay, I'm going to choose to use this now. Though some of you, maybe that is the storyline that's coming through, is that maybe it was something that you weren't able to use. But the predominant storyline that's coming through, the energy that they are giving me, is for somebody where it's like a switch got flipped. And it's because of the choices that we're making. They're more in alignment with the self. When I see Orval Parrot, again, going back to that throat chakra, which he's pointing to, and then also telepathy is kind of coming through very strongly for me with this card. Okay, we have the Piper. The Piper plays a song, right? I feel that this is your unique song. And so there is something about this energy that feels like the language of a soul. This is the way that your soul creates, is in this gift, this ability, this aspect of yourself that you've maybe let go of or suppressed in some way. Again, for others of you, it's something that got switched on. So this is something that is deeply encoded inside of your being. And I love this. I think this is beautiful. For some of you, this is something that you may not have even realized you had until recently. There is a part of you, I feel, whoever this message is for, that even if you knew, many of you anyway, if you knew that you had this, there may have been a whole, well, I don't know about that, I don't know about that, I'm just, you know, like how we try to deny things that we actually know deep down because we want to stay humble or whatever it is, right? Or we don't want to be disappointed, or we don't want to, you know, be crazy, or whatever it is, right? There was a little bit of a struggle with that went on in the past with whoever it is that I'm reading for here. And it does look like whoever I'm speaking to, that now that this is coming online, it may be a little scary for somebody. Not scary because you think anything bad is going to happen, just because it's so outside your norm. For some of you, the things that you're experiencing are a little bit more than you bargained for as well. Okay. Okay, very bottom we have the astronomer, which is discovery here. That's the word that's standing out to me, is discovery. So this is something that we are discovering for ourselves. When I get into this card here, Spy Master, it's knowledge or distrust. Some of you may be having a very hard time trusting that this actually is happening, in which case this reading is confirmation. We have King, control, reversal of fortune, and then the Sentinel, certainty, determination. Some of you may be trying to control the pace at which this is taking place. If this is a reawakening that has other moving parts, so for example, if there are other people involved in this, you may be trying to control aspects of all of that, right? And the message here is to not to control that. There is a little bit of a need to trust and go with the flow as this thing is reawakening. Now, we do have the Sentinel, which is determination, certainty, and so there is a guidance that if this is you and you recognize this as being you, to have determination in your steps and in what you are experiencing. So for some of you, you may be trying to open it up further, right? You may be trying to learn about it. There is a certain amount of willpower that has to be used in order to continue to cultivate whatever this is. It will open up, but then at some point it will plateau, and then you're going to have your own willpower and focus to pay attention to see how to culminate and grow it, right? Whoever I'm speaking to, this gift or this ability that you're using, it's not necessarily going to be one size fits all, right? So going out and trying to learn from people or trying to read a book isn't necessarily going to do you any good. You really have to get in touch with yourself and continue this path that you already started in digging into the self in order to really bring that knowledge out, right? In order to understand what's happening. Because remember, the reason why this is coded in you is because it's yours. Other people can't tell you how to use something that's yours. You're the only person that can truly fully understand how to use it. You can't understand how to do that if you don't do the work to go inside and figure it out, right? Sometimes it takes a long time. Sometimes it takes, taking notes for years and years and years, and then understanding how it works for you, and when it doesn't work for you, and does your diet change it? Does your mood change it, right? Does your happiness or negativity change it? So this is all stuff that somebody's going to start exploring with whatever this is. Someone here is like, I want answers. Good luck. Okay, we have the Hunter, sure-footedness and predestination. Some of you are approaching this as though with a lot of determination and clarity, because you feel that it's something that was meant for you. In some ways, I would agree with that, right? In some ways, I would definitely agree with that. Okay. In a lot of ways, actually, it's part of your soul language. We have the adventure, responsibility, and expectation. Some of you may be worried about this. You may be worried about the expectations that people have, or your own expectations that you're placing on yourself about this thing, right? If I have this ability, then I have to do this, and I have to do this. Allow yourself to be playful. Allow yourself to be in this energy, right? This is, again, that childlike energy. Allow yourself to just play and have the experience, rather than having to get all serious and adult on things. Let's see, they want one more card? Okay, one more card over here. What I am getting, though, is that the reason why this had to wait so long to come online is because there is a lot of energy behind this. We had to come to a place where we were a good steward of our own energy before we were able to handle this. Because when this starts really going and it starts really growing, this is something that has a lot of power behind it. We have the benefactor, grace, and generosity come out. And look at this. This is just cute. I'm just going to show you the picture because it's cute. There is this sense that with the grace and the generosity, this is something that we can choose to give to humanity. There's an energy that's coming out in this for me about love, right? And not love with another person, romance and stuff like that. I'm not talking about that. It's somebody here had to eliminate that bitterness and envy and jealousy and like misery, right? The misery energy. Someone here had to eliminate that from themselves. And that's not said as a judgment. This is where most of us start. And they really had to get in there, figure out what the hell's wrong, right? And they had to extricate themselves out of that in order to really produce a self that loves, to bring that love back, right? And it's very easy to have a bunch of bullshit happen to you and turn into a person that just exists inside of misery and looks at everything as miserable. It takes a really strong person to go through things like that and then cultivate love. So this is, whoever I'm reading for, this is an individual who isn't really allowing the bullshit to put them to sleep, right? This is somebody who has allowed the bullshit to help them transform themselves so that they become a very loving being. This is why this energy is getting flipped on inside of you, because you've been a good steward of your life and of your own energy, of yourself. Right? That doesn't mean you've always treated yourself kindly, right? That doesn't mean that you've always been in the best energy. It doesn't mean that you've always done everything perfect. You don't have to do things perfect. But it means that you've been willing to walk the walk and learn the lessons along the way. And this is why this energy is turning on. Not because there's something out there that's like, oh, you did a great job, let's do this now. Maybe there is. Maybe for some of you there is, especially if you're working very closely with those angelic frequencies. But again, for some of you, you're partnering with different deities or archetypes, right? But for the majority of you, what this is it's the natural next step in your evolution based off of the choices and the steps that you took prior to this. And so one of the things that's coming through in this is that because you have this love for humanity now, and I'm willing to bet that a lot of you who have that storyline, you've gotten yourself out of the narrative and out of that reality that you started out in, right? You've gotten yourself out of that, and now you're able to love because now you have lovable things around you, or you are choosing to perceive the lovable things around you. If that's you, one of the things about this energy coming online now is that this is because these gifts, these abilities, these are the things that make us of service to each other, right? It's not something that people are entitled to. Whoever this message is for, you had to go through your lessons on boundaries. You had to go through your lessons on when to give, when not to give, when to withhold, when to share freely, right? All those things, because it's about your personal health first, because your spiritual walk isn't about everybody else. It's about you. That's the missing part for most people, is they try to make it about everybody else, but it's really about you. It's about your relationship to yourself. And so here, what we're seeing is that somebody has such a good relationship with themselves that they're able to use and harness these abilities now that they can help other people in the appropriate way. Helping a person who feels entitled to your help doesn't actually help them. So one thing that we are having here with the Singer of Courage, let's see. We have Eye of the Needle, intentionality. Now, whoever this message is for, it's almost as though as soon as you got turned online, right, it feels like we understood this is what I have to do, right? And someone here is very determined. previously you had this card that was talking about courage and getting courage, and now it feels like what you're doing is you're not afraid to touch fire, right? Going boldly forward, going towards things that maybe previously would have made you afraid. There's something here where this new coming online sort of energy is giving you a very emboldened step. So whoever this message is for, there's a lot of solar plexus energy involved in this. This is like a different form of actualization than what I normally tap into. It's almost like, I can be me now. I can be me. It's like by accepting yourself and unblocking that throat chakra, somebody is now fully them. Something else has emerged within them that is fully them. And some of you, you're not used to whatever this is, so it almost might feel like something else is emerging inside of you. It's an aspect of yourself that you've never had a relationship with or that you've never known. But this is an extremely powerful aspect that, again, has the power to help the collective, right? As human beings, we're all connected. That's why telepathy is a thing, because we're all connected. We're the ones that perceive the individuation because of our skin suits, right? And really, we're all just confluences of energy concentrated in little ego identities, but we're still just one ocean flowing back and forth, right? And someone here, you're reaching deep into that ocean and you're able to pull out information now that you weren't able to, or reaching deep into that ocean and pulling out inspiration that you weren't able to before. Example, if this is like, an art of some kind, or reaching in and healing things that other people can't or that you weren't able to before. And there's a lot of intentionality that's behind that here. I love how the blues all switch to like these red and orange and yellows. I think a lot of times spiritual people, they really discredit the lower chakras. They think that the higher ones are the ones that they have to work on. And it's not true. It's not true. Someone here is, I wouldn't doubt that somebody here really worked on, for example, their finances and creating better stability for themselves, right? Somebody here also probably got themselves out of survival mode. Someone here may still be in it. I'm not saying all of you are out of it, but some of you in this collective definitely got yourself straightened out in the lower center. So doing the inner child work, cleaning up any sort of sexual habits that were self-harming for you or dangerous for you, or, restricting to you even. And then working on your solar plexus, that energy of I am, right? Our confidence, our insecurities, our need to always have the last say because we need people to understand us. The need to like over-explain ourselves when people put us in a corner trying to tell us who we are, right? So whoever this message is for, you've done a lot of work, and you've done a lot of great work. And in order for this energy to be coming out, when I see this adventure, it's like a volcano. All of this energy, all of these abilities, all of these gifts, this is like erupting forward. And so whoever this message is for, you probably already see evidence of that, right? It's something that you're probably like, oh my God, I didn't know it was going to be like this. And that may be scaring somebody, like I said. Now, this is bringing me back to a reading I did a couple days ago where there was a key at the very end that opens a door. I feel for some of you, if you did watch that reading, this is what that was talking about. There is a choice that's involved in here, though. I do have to say that because the fairy grandmother's peeking out. And I just feel like she's looking at me like, hey, say more. So with her, there is a choice here on how to use this, the wise way to use it, right? There is a certain level that for some of you, this ability may be magical ability. And so using that with the right intentions, right? I'm not here to tell you what the right and wrong intentions are, but to use it in a wise way. I'll put it that way. Okay. One more. Okay, and then we have the fawn. Now the fawn is very interesting because this card changes its meaning for me every time I pull it, I swear. Sometimes it can mean people coming together, like finding our soul tribe, because now we've finally illuminated our true self. Some of you, that may be the case. For me right now, that fawn is almost speaking about a spirit animal. Some of you may be coming into contact with like a spirit familiar. I know a lot of people think of those in terms of animals, and they can take animal shapes. I don't want to get into that too much because I feel like whoever this message is for, you'll know what I mean by that. There's like this familial sort of energy to these spirits that seem to be coming forward for somebody. Helpers in the astral, for example. I do feel that if there is someone here And if there is someone here who is experiencing a higher degree of lucid dreaming and astral travel, for example, I do feel that you are about to take shamanism into that space. And this is where shamanism should be done, right? We tend to think of it as something that's purely meditational, purely just in trance, but get out of your body, project, and do the underworld and the upper world journeys. And I think you'll be quite surprised. Whoever this message is for, I know that you're already doing that. If that was you, if you are the person who is astral projecting, for example. Let's see. One more card, okay. And here we have the Waker, awareness and reflection. So again, this is almost like that ability, that gift, whatever it is, it's finally opened its eye, it's come back online. So this is something that I feel that whoever this message is for, this has been closed for a very long time. I don't feel that this has just been closed for this lifetime. It feels like something that was closed for lifetimes. And we seem to have wrapped up some sort of soul story in order to bring this back. So whoever this is, that's huge. I'm going to wrap this up. If this resonates for you, please hit that like button. Feel free to leave me a comment. And until next time.